I was amazed by this. A third of U.S. workers seriously considered quitting their job in the last 3 months. Here to talk about that is Dr. Daren Martin. He's CEO and founder of the Global Company Culture Association. And Dr. Martin, welcome to WHO in Des Moines. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing terrific, Dr. Martin. So tell me, what do you think are the contributing factors in a workplace culture that would make employees seriously consider quitting?
So first of all, I'm not surprised by that number. I think a lot of people would quit their jobs if they could. The reality of the work world, there's so many people that just work is a soul suck for. And just think about the way people drag themselves into work on a Monday morning and then dance out on Friday, right? We even celebrate hump day because we're halfway there. We're almost to the weekend.
Yeah.
And I mean, what has devolved into this thing called work is just way out of whack. And there's a reason that we have only a 29% engagement rate. That means only a third of the workforce is showing up. Everybody else is just kind of zombie employees. I call them in a company of owners. My book, they're just mailing it in. So I think a lot of people would jump at the chance to get another job if they could. And the real problem is kind of what's going on at work.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah.
So you leave work for why do you leave relationships? Because you get a bigger, better deal, or because it's just not working for you anymore.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, with the way a lot of companies are operating, it's not working for them.
So what are the factors when you're talking to employers about creating a culture and people are happy to come to work on Monday through Friday? What are some of the key factors?
So first of all, they have to feel like they matter at that place. They're being developed. They're growing. A great question to ask your employees is, since you've been working here, whether it's a week, a month, a year, have you become better as a person? Have you learned some new skills? Do you feel like you've leveled up as a part of being a part of this team? If they scratch their head and go, I don't know what you're talking about, I didn't even know that was part of the deal, then you need to back up, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing you have to look at is what is there at the company? I call it first name, last name stuff. You really want strong first names, which is I'm here, I'm present, I feel like I'm really developing as a person. But you also want a strong last name company where people are proud to wear the shirt, they want to wear the hat, they want to be associated with it. I had lunch with a buddy of mine. He's been a long-time creative director at the Richards Group in Dallas, and the Richards Group is pretty legendary for their culture. And he was wearing the ball cap, Richards Group. He wants people to know he's affiliated with that company. I know some companies that people would not only not wear the hat, but they'd get bricks thrown at them if they did. Right?
What do you think? Here's another situation that I'm fascinated by. 3/4 of U.S. millennials believe job hopping has helped advance their careers. So my first response to that is, well, is there anything a company can do to retain folks who think that the job hopping is helping their careers? What do you think?
You got to make it the best place to work. You got to make it a place where it's hard for them to leave because what they are receiving there on all levels, right? That is, it's inspiring them, it's growing them, it's developing them, that would be hard to walk away from. When that's not there, then people jump on, they move for dollars or they move for that kind of, incentive. But we do have to face the fact that in part work has become work itself is kind of its own gig economy. Companies stopped doing the big 401ks and some of those things that incentivized our fathers and grandfathers and mothers and grandmothers to kind of stay at a company for a while. Mm-hmm. And so, in a lot of cases, it's like we've made it really easy to move. And I do think that that's kind of the new normal. But if a company wants longevity, they've got to create something that is so freaking good that people want to continue to be a part of it, and they wouldn't take more money just to jump ship.
Let me go back to an answer you gave me about sometimes when you wear the stuff that has the company's name on it, Dr. Martin, people want to throw bricks at you because it's funny you would say that. I've got my iHeart radio shirt on today, which I'm going to wear out and about, and I'm in parades with the iHeart radio vehicle, and people say, hey, I love iHeart radio, and I love to hear that, and I'm good with the brand name that I work for. But what are the things that companies do that actually make people go, I wouldn't wear a shirt that's got my company's name on it? What do these companies need to avoid?
Well, it's either, in some cases, it doesn't have anything to do with the employees necessarily. It's that the brand itself. You know, there are companies that people love to hate just because of, you know, the conflictual relationship they have with the customer base. That will, you know, ultimately go away. But from a company culture standpoint, it's really more about, does that person that is working there identify this is my team, this is my group? I've got a friend in Dallas that every time she introduces herself, if we're at an event or something, she'll give her name, and then she beams with pride and says, I work for the mouse, which, of course, we know means Disney, right?
Yeah.
And there's just such pride in what she believes their mission is and what they're about, and that she's a part of something. And, you know, you think, oh, well, that's easy with Disney. But, you know, historically, people have had the same reaction with In-N-Out Burger, Zappos. Mm-hmm. You know, it used to be harder to get a job at Zappos, a $12 call center job, than it was to get into Harvard University. I mean, you know, that says a lot, right?
Yeah.
So it's really about the kind of culture you build and where people feel like not only are they recognized as present, but it's a bigger group.
Now, is it too narrow, Dr. Martin, to say recognize as present means that there needs to be a path to promotion? Is it more than that?
I think it's more than promotion, because promotion happens every so what, right? Like 6 months, a year, 5 years, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. That's a spaced out kind of event. I think it's more about options to learn new skills, options to develop as a person. Hey, we're helping you, really develop that charity thing you want to do, or we're extending your education. It's about those things. It's certainly about promotion, but it's really as much about what's happening on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, where people are participating in things that they go, wow, I'm smarter, I'm better, I'm faster, I've got more skills, I'm more marketable because of what that company is providing and doing for me.
He is the CEO and founder of Global Company Culture Association. He's named Dr. Daren Martin. And Dr. Martin, those are very insightful comments today. Thanks for joining me this morning.
Absolutely. I'd love to be on with you anytime, Jeff. Thanks.
You bet. We'll talk about these kind of things more.